Hello everyone. Today I will show you the card vanish sequence and how you can do it in an alternative way that is much easier. But I will start with the original trick and it looks something like this. And as you can see there, I could show both of my hands empty, but it involved a difficult step where I had to drop the card and use angles in order to show this hand empty. So the alternative way is to make the card disappear, show this hand empty, there's nothing on the back side, and the card appears from the back side. So that's what we are going to go through today. And I will share with you 4 different tips while we get into that trick. Okay? And the first tip I have is about the hands. So if I stand like this, you see that this doesn't look normal. My hands are not relaxed and people think I'm concealing something, and it just looks strange. So the natural resting position of my hands is something like this. So in order to do the trick, it's good to have relaxed hands. And with that said, we can move into the second tip. And the second tip is about the Tenkai palm or Tenkai position. And the position itself looks like this, where I have a card and it's held together by the thumb and my palm, like this. Because when the card is in that position, I can move my fingers freely and it looks like nothing is there. And in order to get into this position, you need to be able to tilt the card, grab it with your thumb, and then release with your fingers, and then that card is stuck there. And it's quite difficult to get into that position, and when you start practicing, you use many fingers in order to get into that position, because you need to tilt the card and then grab it with your thumb. So the second tip is about that you can get into this position by using minimal finger movements and mostly your middle finger and thumb in order to get into that position. Because when I am performing the trick, when I conceal the card in order to make the vanish into Tenkai position, if I use many fingers, you can see that it was a lot of movement to get to that position. While if I only use my middle finger and minimum movement on the other fingers, I can get into that position and it barely looked like I moved any fingers at all. So while this hand is concealing the card like this, you move into the position using only your middle finger and thumb, while this pinky, this ring finger and index finger just moves a tiny bit, but it's still quite open, so it still looks natural. So like that. So from this angle, I conceal the tip of the fingers. I only use that in order to get into position, and then when I turn over this hand, the vanish is done. So practice getting into Tenkai position like that. because the trick is that you get there, you do that, and that is done, and then you turn over and show this hand empty. So. And the third tip is about the alternative way of performing the trick. And basically, once you have concealed the card, moved it into the 10 position, you're going to turn this hand over and show that it is completely empty by waving your hand like this. And what I do now is that I also show the back side of that hand and also do a waving, because now we have shown the audience that this hand is completely empty and the backside is also completely empty. So 100% the card is not somewhere here, because then we can move into the trick itself. We turn it back and we produce the card from behind that hand, because that takes away all the dropping and the angles in order to show this hand empty. So you only do that, you show this one empty, empty, and take a card out from that, because that's the trick. How can this palm be empty and the back be empty but still a card come out from that hand? Because then we don't need to focus on the difficult things with this hand. Okay, so that's the trick. You make it disappear, you show this one empty, pull that out, and there the card is produced. And the fourth tip is that after you have made the card disappear, you show this hand empty, you show this empty, you can reach out behind the spectator's ear and then produce that card like that, because then the card is produced and you can finalize the trick by putting it back in the deck. And we don't use this hand at all. So we just make it disappear, we show this one empty, we reach out behind and we pull out the card. Okay, and some minor details. From the 10 position, the easiest way to produce a card is to stick in with your index finger and your middle finger, grab it and then pull it out. So like that. And instead of punching it out like that, it looks better if you reach out and pull the card from thin air like this. So better to do like that than like that. And for our trick, since we want to pull it out from behind this hand, some people can deduce that, okay, if I have something in the palm of my hand, it's natural to stick in fingers and pull it out like that. And so they can deduce this grip. So that's why we are going to twist it a little bit. So while this hand is covering up, we are going to pull it out, and then we're going to switch a grip into a grip where we like only use our thumb and our index finger, because this grip is different from this grip. Because if they see a card come out like that, they will see, yeah, but how can he get to this grip from this position? From this position, the only natural grip is to stick it out, but he somehow got to this grip. So that will take away some of the thoughts of the card moving from inside of your palm. So like that.